Hello. You might remember that I did this if you were tuned in yesterday. I started with that picture yesterday, and then today I came across a board last night when I was looking for paints, and I just brought it in. And then when I looked at the flowers today, they've opened quite a bit more, changed position a bit. So I thought I'll just start again and maybe return to that black and white one at another stage. But in any case, it's kind of informed how I'm going to progress here, I think. Having done that, I feel has given me a bit of a way in. I need to watch here now that I get the stamen in. I really want to make sure that those are part of it. And I also want the flowers to be a significant part of this. I wonder, would I turn it that way actually? Got my lovely new book underneath there to help me as an easel. Yeah, maybe I'll turn it that way actually. I could do with some tape. I bought new masking tape, which I don't know where it is gone. Just use that, that'll be okay. Yeah, I think I will do this. I think I will do it turned on its side. I need to get some kitchen paper, sorry, no. Just give me 1 second. I don't know if I've got any left actually. Yeah, I've got a few pieces. Now I know it's very dark, but I like, again, like I was saying yesterday, I like the lighting on the flowers, so that's why the board is a little bit dark. But we'll manage. It's a bit dark for me seeing the thing as well, but I love these, the configuration of the flowers, so I'll see if I can capture them anyway, in the shape that they're in just now. So we've got this pink one here. I'll just put a rough, like this is magenta, which is quite a good colour, isn't it, to describe those pinks. Bring it over a bit because I want to be sure that we're going to see those stamen. This is New Year's Eve. Yeah. New Year's Eve 2023. Okay, so there's some kind of a beginning. I'm happy to say that I found my white as well, which I think will come in useful for the negative spaces, the shapes of the spaces between parts. But I'm going to watch now that I don't get too involved before placing the other pink flower, so that I'm happy with the location of the whole lot, I mean, it's a bit of a whirly-gig one, this one, like a windmill, the one facing us. But I think it's quirky enough that the shape is not going to be too symmetrical, at the, like facing us like that. It might sometimes feel a bit daunting to paint a flower. Well, I find it a bit daunting sometimes to paint a flower looking straight at me. But this one's got a whirling kind of character to it, which appeals to me, so I'm not worried about that. Let's see now, I think that comes down a bit lower. So I've got a brush that's clean here and damp so that I can use it almost like a rubber and charcoal. Yeah, that's okay. And like anything, if you want to get too trigger happy with any one technique, no, I think what I'll do there is just go and move on to something green. What's this? This is sap green. I want to get a small tube of hooker's green because I like having a dark green easily within reach. And also, I think I need a small ultramarine blue too. Well, I have this one, but I'm not sure if it's as good quality. It's the graduate one. Okay. So I'm going to mix those. You can't really see the palette there. I'm mixing the sap green with the ultramarine blue and the Van Dyke brown. I tell a lie, do I? That's burnt umber actually. It's a great, good dark burnt umber. Right, I'll not move you about too much now, so but what I wanted to do was to begin to place the dark green of that leaf there as it meets the pink. gosh, it's really... I think probably what I need to do is bring you closer and just let you see the painting, because it's really quite dark, isn't it, otherwise? And if any one of you wanted to give it a go from my angle, just let me know, and I'll see if I can send you a photograph of the flowers from my position. Okay, so I'm filling in where the leaf meets the lily there. I mean, really, there's a lovely fluidity to the edge of the lily. That's something like that, you know. Anyway, the green will be in there somewhere, meeting that. I could make it a bit more green as it goes out the way there. And then there's another green leaf up here too. The background is dark, and I'm kind of excited to try that actually, to make the background really dark eventually. It might work. There is a green here as well, but it's not quite as bold and dark a green as those other two leaves are. This one is just carving some kind of light really out of the lily. It sits in front of that lily there. It might be that I'll return to the other painting as well, like I said, particularly from the photo. I can go back to it because I took a photo exactly from the position I was working from. This often happens to me with brushes. I'm just trying to I dried the brush off there so that I can capture more clearly what I'm wanting here, which is the kind of elegant sweep of the lily up to the dark end. And actually, I could do with lifting off some of the screen too to get a similar sweep to this one. This one is really catching the light, so I'm going to extract some of the colour off it, some of the paint off it really, so that I can get a feeling for the actual colour of it. Probably later on I'll do that, but I just wanted to lift off the volume of paint that was on there because it wasn't really the true colour I was seeing. There's a lovely brightness to that green, which can be captured later on, I think, with either oil paint or thicker acrylic. For now, I'm just finding the position of things, as I say, and now and then fine-tuning a little bit. So this is coming down to meet the edge of the jug there. There's a little sliver of the jug evident there, and then it'll be underneath here as well. But this isn't really about the jug so much anymore. It's more about the character of the lily and the dancing way that they're curling kind of in on themselves, these petals. I think as we become curious, things are revealed as you go along. As Rick Rubin says, the work reveals itself as you go. You don't have to know it all in advance, and it's kind of helpful not to have any preconceived ideas really. If I was too attached to what I thought I would do, I might be still working with it on the other side. And you know, it's exciting to try it this way. What am I doing now next? Let's see. There's 2 petals there actually. So I'm dividing there. This is the one that's good for lifting out. Yeah. And then there's the edge of the jug that comes down kind of here-ish. Okay. And then this petal has got that kind of a edge to it, and then there's a little space between the two there. Yeah, and there's a kind of a curling back on itself. This one here that extends over the edge is curling back on itself, quite dark over the lighter petal. The lighter and larger one underneath, although here it is a bit dark, that little section. And the bit here is a little lighter, the bit in front. And that dark is more of a muted dark really, it's a different shade than I've got it. But I'll just to kind of almost make a note for myself for now, I leave it like that. And what I think I can do actually is put a little layer of the burnt umber, was it? Over it, in order to carve out the lighter part of that petal that's here in front of it. I mean, I can do it better once it's a bit drier maybe. But just for now, I want to capture something of that's happening there. Okay, and this follows down then here. And it actually becomes lighter again down here. I like this one for lifting off. It's a little less finicky than the small one. Okay. Now I suppose it's time, isn't it, to do something with the blue. I might not go into all the detail of it. See if I can find a colour that's a really good match. I think that's quite a good match there. Because I want to just do it like I did with the pink, you know, have something that's close enough and put down a fair amount of information just with that one colour. Look, the location of them. Let's see if I'm happy with this now when it goes on. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's probably on the brighter side, but it's possible to deepen the tone, make it, you know, this is kind of, I suppose, a kind of a mid-tone really between the darkest and the brightest bits of the blue. So that's there. That's a blemish, I think, on the board. Oh, it's a piece of grass. Interesting. Okay, so this petal is there, and yeah, this pink one here needs to drop down a little bit. Gosh, that was a lot of paint on my finger, wasn't it? That's okay. I mean, the green will probably come down a bit further. This is blue, I've got in my brush now, but it's just to indicate for myself where the leaf will stop. And then this will be where the turquoise blue flower, the bright of it, stops. And then there's one that goes up above the page, really. It goes above, I think, or maybe it just curves just below it. Let me see now. I think that's doing that there. And then that one is, what's this one doing? Yeah, I think that's alright. And so I'll use my lifting off brush again now to swirl that back there. And then the tip of it be like that. I mean, it's not so critical because this is all dark, so I'll probably be darkening the background anyway. But it's just kind of handy to help me finding the edge of things. And then there's an edge of a lighter petal here. It's coming down to meet the bud that's not got as much paint on it. You know, it's kind of helpful for me to use the white of the canvas, or the board underneath, as a way of lightening the colour. So I just lift off a bit of the paint to explain some of the brighter bits of that flower. Dark here, and yeah, it's lighter there again. I mean, I could just use this, I suppose, conventional method of painting with a brush. Now, have I gone too far with that? See, I wonder whether that pink curling back in bit comes down a bit further. I think it does it? Maybe over a bit further. That's about right. Okay. I might as well just launch it in again there. Yeah, kind of curls into the dark, so there's a dark bit there, and then the other flowers here. Okay, so do with another brush. I'm just going to put some of the raw umber, no, it's burnt umber and ultramarine blue together to make a dark colour to isolate for me the shape of that curling back pink petal and just discover what's happening there really. I'm kind of reluctant to close one eye and be really digital about it. I want to kind of let myself still have... Yeah? Okay. Just going to make Erin something to eat. She's heading out to her friend's house. So I'm going to come back for part 2. But just before, let's see now, just before I go, I want to kind of establish the general position. It's a good time to stop actually because I've pretty much found the position of most things now. Except I think that this needs to, I also wanted to find the outside of this. Okay, right. So I think so far so good. I know it looks a bit abstracted just now, but we'll get there. I'll come back to you after getting some food for Erzy. Okay, see you for part 2. Bye.